And what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Monday Catch Up. It's just what we're going to call it for right now until somebody thinks of a better title for this. I'm
Prefer
not
Monday Mustard.
Monday Mustard. All right, we'll go with that. It's the Monday Mustard, everybody, because nobody likes ketchup. So this is where we cast the unstreamed game that takes place during Rekt League. Just to kind of get that game out onto Twitch, out in the open. And this week's game was between You Face Braxis and Snitches Get Stitches. Charlie, a.k.a. Balrog fans' favorite team to say.
It certainly is a good one. You've been teasing me about this draft, about how there's some interesting picks going on here.
Yeah, so we won't have a draft available. It doesn't get recorded. But I will tell you on the side of Snitches Get Stitches, we've got Anna, Greymane, Uther, Murden, and Zagara.
Okay.
And, that's a pretty good, solid comp. I like it. I don't see any real big flaws in there. Good split push, good team fight. But on the side of You Face Braxis, I'm looking at this draft, and it's just cancer is the only word I can think of. It's just cancerous. So we've got Sonya, Johanna, Lieutenant Morales, and then Cho'Gall.
We have a Cho'Gall. With 2 tanks and a Morales. Huh.
It's on Infernal Shrines. So we're gonna get this watch with others, and we're gonna get this this game going, and we're gonna see how this turns out.
Yeah, I think I need to start brushing up on my Cho'Gall knowledge because it's not the first time I've had to cast a game with them.
No, you're correct. We have had to cast previous Cho'Gall games. I believe, I don't know where else. I've seen another Cho'Gall come out of the University of Kentucky, one of their players, at Heroes Hype last Wednesday, and they just steamrolled. And that was a very, very, very freaky team to watch play because they showcased a variety of drafts. They went from the cheese to, I believe they ran a Protect the Hammer strat at one point. It was absolutely just violence out of them. So here we go into the game. On the left-hand side, we've got You Face Braxis. We've got Bruce on the Johanna, Miniman on the Sonya. Maroon Marine is on the Morales. And with Winter Juice and Winterheart and Emperor Juice, we've got Wind Juice on the Cho'Gall. Winoose. So
good old Winoose. Over on the other side, for Snitches Get Stitches, we have Majesty playing Anna, Bandito on the Greymane, Jamster rocking the Uther, Patience on Uridin, and Spectrama on Zagara.
So here we go. It looks like everybody's going mid. Eye of Krug comes out. Sonya hits the spear onto the Murden. He jumps away, gets to safety. Not much action other than that. I'm expecting that Zagara to work her way by, but a stun from Uther comes out as well. And
yeah, Cho'Gall is pretty strong early as some more fight in the mid breaks out. Because you don't really have the damage to actually take him down yet. I think he tends to fall off in the later game when you can pick up things like giant killers. So right now he's going to be a pretty unstoppable monster. Even though it's a gank going down to Zagara, it doesn't matter how strong Cho'Gall as a hero is. When it's 4v1, you die.
Well, yeah. And Zagara caught out of position right there. And this is not the really best position for Patience and Jamster to be in. I won't be surprised if I see a playmaker come out of the Murden here just to get some extra dispositioning on that Cho'Gall. If they get him out of the fights are going to go a lot easier for him.
Or if he wants to try and get a flank and Haymaker the Morales into the team, I think if you shut down the source of healing, Cho'Gall struggles a lot more. It does look like you face Braxis is trying to do a 4-1 rotation with the solo lane and top, and then the 3/4 with the Cho'Gall between mid and bot, while Snitches is just kind of laning.
Yeah. And to be fair, this Zagara is getting a real good bit of work in on that bottom keep, but once again, here comes the rotation, and Zagara goes down in that bot lane as the temple spawns, and that kind of nullifies any potential push advantage that Zagara could get.
Yeah, so she's put pressure on the bottom but the experience is in the advantage of you face Braxis because they've gotten those 2 successful ganks off. We'll see. Nobody's really committing to this temple just yet. Cho'Gall's sitting on it now. It's going to be hard to displace him without the Zagara.
Bandito's in there. And this is about how I was expecting it to go. Like, they're not going to be able to kill this Cho'Gall as long as Morales even stays above 50% energy. Bandito taking an awful lot of damage right there. He's going to have to back. Needs a heal, but Uther has these horrible little things called cooldowns, so Anna comes in with the snipe, gets the sleeping dart onto Maroon Marine, but the skeletal minions wake her up out of her quick little nap right there.
Yep. Once again, Zagara is split pushing bottom lane, has taken down 1 tower and the gate, but because of that, they give up this first Immortal Punisher. We'll see if they can minimize the losses from this, or if they just get jumped on and chain killed.
Well, we'll see. The patient's waiting right there, baits it over. Well done by him. Cho'Gall just shredding these this gate though. Gets in there with them. Front wall is going down. Morales gets slept. Greymane goes in, but Cho'Gall just getting value, and another Shadow Bolt will probably kill. Nope. Just barely misses.
Yeah, Snitches managed to escape, but they did not put any sort of meaningful damage on a Cho'Gall. Now, the one thing is, Morales is no longer an infinite source of healing. She dropped down to 0 during that fight, and it ended in time, so it wasn't a problem. But unlike an Ariel Cho'Gall, a 20-second fight might actually go poorly for them.
Yeah, and we see Cho'Gall just clearing some creep out there real quick, making sure to reduce that vision that Zagara does provide her team. And that's really, really key right there. As we take a look at the top lane, Bandito and Majesty working this creep, this bruiser camp up in the top down.
Uther did go Hammer of the Lightbringer at level 1 to reduce the cooldown of his Hammer of Justice.
Now, I've been seeing that get taken quite a bit. Attempted gank on the Johanna. The problem is it is a Johanna, so she just pops Iron Skin, walks away, taps the well, and is already ready to come back to the lane.
And Ana is not a Johanna. She does look like she's still going to manage to get out. With significantly less health than the Johanna did, though.
This is true.
Yeah, I think, with the big front line like E-Face Braxis has, Uther will get value out of that level 1 with the basic attacks, restoring mana and reducing the cooldown of his E. So I can definitely see a good argument for it.
Yeah, and it is actually a favorite talent of mine whenever I do get thrown on the Uther. Just being able to stun much more often is obviously incredibly valuable, especially in team fights.
Yeah, so I don't really think he's ever going to look to stun the Cho'Gall. It's mostly going to be stunning the Sonya out of her Whirlwind. Because when you stun a Cho'Gall, you really only stun the Cho.
Yep, still free to throw abilities out and be incredibly annoying. Cho'Gall already starting this camp up in the top.
Yeah, it looks like Snitches continue to try and pressure lanes away from the objective, try and win that way. I don't really blame them. I don't think they win these early fights. They're just trying to trade evenly as best they can. So Greymane and Anna and Zagara are trying to take down the Sonya, but even still, she's pretty healthy. And might actually push the Zagara out of lane.
Oh, no, she's
going to
go
kill.
down. Yeah. That poison spear just doing so much damage, but Ana was having to rotate tie at top.
Yeah, so looks like E-Face Braxis is going to get the objective and the bottom lane push. So the plan for Snitches Get Stitches kind of goes horribly wrong right there. They do have the Merc camp pushing mid, but is it best going to get a tower? So...
Oh, that's a huge upheaval right there. Here comes the expected Shadow Bolt volley to follow that up, and there it is, getting all kinds of damage. The consuming blaze onto Majesty. Ana goes down right there. The jumping or the fist comes out from Cho'Gall. Jamster in a world of hurt. They're not even 10s yet, and Uther goes down. So a 3-for-0, a fort, and they have the potential to grab this front wall as well.
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they think they're safe under their fort. But if the enemy team has a minion wave, you don't actually have anything there.
Yeah.
It's basically fighting them in an open field, but with a Punisher right there to jump and stun you.
So let's see if Snitches Get Stitches can bring down this Cho'Gall. Nope, he fists his way out of there, and he is on the move. Probably heading towards his bruiser camp here in the top lane, but Snitches Get Stitches are quickly behind him. That Aya crew spotting out Bandito at least, so they know they're in the area. Bruce coming
He
in.
just dodges that upheaval, but the Shadow Volley and the stun from Johanna
just
looked like he was safe.
No, Shadow Bolt volley. He ate the full volley right there. And that was a disgusting amount of damage in a very short period of time. This Cho'Gall just paying absolute dividends right now against Snitches Get Stitches. Johanna chilling out here in the bush right now on that sad cloud.
Just want to point out, we do have a Nidus network out of the Zagara and the Avatar out of the Mirrodin. No playmakers for us.
And see, I'm wondering if the playmaker actually would have been beneficial, because they do have a Divine Shield here. So punching Cho'Gall into a fort to keep, and then jumping on, Greymane jumping on him with a Divine Shield to kind of eat that Shadow Bolt volley damage. I'm wondering if that would have been helpful. Here comes another two-man upheaval from the Cho'Gall. The Shadow Bolt volley does come out again, and now Merton jumps in with that Avatar activated. He's trying to get as much value as possible. The Eye of Horus not getting enough value right here, and now Jamster in a bit of a pickle, having to run away.
Man, she's playing a little aggressive right there, standing right next to the Cho'Gall and Johanna, and probably going to pay for it. Yeah, it looks like... Ooh, they might get... Yeah, everybody but Zagara is dead right now.
Yeah, I think this keep is U-Face Braxis's now. There's not a lot that Snitches Get Stitches can do to stop this. And Patience losing about 70% of his health right there, probably closer to 80. Ends up having to go back to the well. Zagara does hearth back to the fountain. And yeah, I think the word cancer is apt for this.
I think in that last team fight, it looked like Snitches but Stitches... Ooh, is they trying to engage onto a Johanna?
Yeah, the Cursed Bullet landing. Oh, that's a three-man upheaval, followed by the Shadow Bolt volley. That's going to get two. That's going to get three. And now, God, this is like every bad quick match that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, that was a really, really good upheaval for the Wombo combo. The fight in the top that led to the keep getting taken down, it looked like Snitches Get Stitches blew all their cooldowns trying to take a Cho'Gall down, got him to half health, and then the Greymane and the Muradin thought, oh wait, we should kill the Morales, but all the cooldowns were blown, and they had no more damage to actually threaten the Morales. And it just kind of fell apart from there. The last one, though, that was just an upheaval, Blessed Shield, Shadow Bolt Volley combo.
Yeah, that was just absolutely disgusting. They've got just incredible amounts of lockdown, like, between just those two. So we are getting the allied chat because I think I forgot to turn that off before we start. Marine there on the Morales cussing about something.
Yeah, I think this should be a keep. It's 16-13. I think they would have to get a big team fight win.
Oh, that's not gonna lead to a big team fight win when three of you get pulled in by the Cho'Gall right there. Just a huge amount of damage. Patience doing his best to stay alive with that healing static.
The leap on the Ana. That's probably going to be her dead too. This should be game for you face Braxis. I was about to say, as long as they don't get wiped, Snitches get Stitches, don't have to lose the game right here. But they got wiped. I think they're going to lose the game right here.
That was an absolutely godlike upheaval out of the Cho'Gall right there. That was just filthy. Oh, a nice bit of damage going on to Cho'Gall right there. But Bandito's going to pay with his life for his transgressions against the two-headed ogre. The leader of what? The Twilight Hammer clan, if I remember correctly?
I think so. Oh man, upheaval has just ruined Snitches Get Stitches day.
Like this
is such a huge AoE that they just are not prepared to deal with. Every 60 seconds, you have to stand that far away from Cho'Gall, or you just get destroyed.
Murden is managed to stay alive, but it doesn't matter. The core health quickly dropping at this point. 4-3-0. And that is game one in the books. You face Braxis taking game one. So we'll exit out of this replay and cut to us. Yeah, that was absolute cancer. That was just the most ridiculous nonsense I've ever seen.
Yeah, there were the one thing about, the way you face Braxis, they won those team fights with these big AoE combos, and there really wasn't any sort of AoE healing coming out of Snitches Get Stitches. The Uther and the Ana, but they didn't have a Break It Down from Lucio, or even like a Twilight Dream, or not a Tranquility, or anything like that to provide the big AoE healing to save their team, and it showed.
Yeah,
I think the Zagara did a good job trying to keep, she wasn't there for a lot of team fights, but there weren't a lot of team fights they could have won. So I think her trying to split push and gain experience advantages and catch them up was probably the best thing she could have been doing in that situation.
Yeah. I think the Zagara was making the absolutely correct call in trying to split push as hard as possible and get that XP gap. But when you're losing 3-4 every team fight, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the upheaval was just so strong because, when you're in that situation, your 4-man just wants to delay and not force and engage and just kind of poke around the objective and not really force anything. But that upheaval didn't give them that option. It just yanked them in and said, nope, we're having a team fight right now. We have a level lead. We have more people here. You're going to die.
Yep, pretty much. So next game 2, is going to be on Battlefield of Eternity. And on the side of... something's in my eye. Oh, my God. On the side of Snitches Get Stitches, we've got Lunara, Diablo, Zeratul, Muradin, and Charism. So a pretty bursty comp, if I'm honest, especially with the Muradin rework. That quest gets a lot. That quest he got is huge value. But on the side of Snitches Get Stitches is something even worse than what we just dealt with. Rhaegar, Ana, Johanna, and Cho'Gall. They do the Cho'Gall again. So I thought the last one was pretty bad. This one just sounds even worse because at this point, you are not killing the Cho'Gall. It's not an option. Double healer, Ana and Rhaegar, you're not doing it. You can't even get close to him. Just looking at that comp. But you have to, because you have Diablo, Zeratul. You have quad melee on the side of Snitches Get Stitches. So what I'm thinking is they're going to try to dive and kill everybody but the Cho'Gall. And at that point, the Cho'Gall does become a lot more manageable. Anna, kind of squishy. Rhaegar, kind of squishy. Johanna, very annoying, but once her iron skin's off, very, very manageable. The other thing I'm thinking about this is with does the sleeping dart, when you get the penetration on it and it penetrates 2 heroes, does Cho'Gall count as 2 heroes? Does it just stop at the Cho'Gall? That's something I need to think about in the future, because we didn't really see that come into play the last game.
I don't believe it would work that way unless they specifically coded it, because right now Gaul can't be hit by abilities.
That's a fair point. So
it's possible the devs coded it that way, but
yeah, very, very possible. But that would be like even more annoying to deal with, because you think you get that penetration and you just got Cho'Gall constantly playing Secret Service with your healers, acting like he's Clint Eastwood jumping in the line of fire. Shout-outs to 90s movies, bad 90s movies. The only clever thing that movie did was like the plastic gun that I can't even think, John Malkovich made in that. Like that was actually pretty clever. Made plastic bullets and everything. So enough with the sideways derailment, the multi-track drifting, we'll call it. Here we go into game number 2 here on Battlefield of Eternity between Snitches Get Stitches and You Face Braxis.
So
I don't know why You Face Braxis would just be so rude to run Cho'Gall twice on somebody.
I don't know.
That's just rude. I should talk to Winterheart about that.
Snitches Get Stitches.
Snitches Get Stitches. I see you're having the same problem as Charlie.
They have a better Immortal Racing comp.
Definitely.
So we'll see if You Face Braxis lets them race.
So
From what I saw last game, they will not.
So once again, on the left-hand side, we've got You Face Braxis. Bruce is on the Johanna. Miniman is on Mr. Bark Bark. Wolf Guy Rhaegar. Winterheart and Emperor Juice is on the Cho'Gall for Winus. And Maroon Marine is going to be playing the Ana.
Up in the top lane, playing Muradin for Snitches Get Stitches is Patience. On the Karazim is Spectrama. Rocking the Zeratul is Jamster. Playing Diablo as Bandito. And their lone ranged character, Lunar, will be played by Majesty.
Now, I like what they're trying to go with this Karazim pick, because I fully expect him to go 7-side strike in this case. And that's just going to put in a tremendous amount of hurt onto this Cho'Gall right here, especially with the Diablo being able to just shove Cho'Gall back into his team. So we'll see if this works.
Yeah, with the Void Prison, they will have ways to isolate people, whether they want to isolate, or like Void Prison the back line, and then, there's a 2v2 top lane that gets Muradin killed. That's Johanna Rhaegar just killed a Muradin, so that's interesting.
That just happened. Bark Bark Bite Bite coming in handy from the Rhaegar. Probably the double lightning shield. Yep.
So Rhaegar does a decent amount of damage for his support. But what I was saying is you can Void Prison the backline and try and kill the Cho'Gall with a 7-sided, or you can try and Void Prison the Cho'Gall and then dive the backline with your Zeratul and like a Leaping Strike Lunara to try and deal with it that way.
Yeah,
Another 2v2 in the top lane. Looks like they're trying to kill Rhaegar. A lot of damage going down onto him, but he gets the heal off and he's out. Let's see if Johanna can get the return kill on his Zeratul.
One punish would do it, but nice thunderclap from the Muradin right there. Slows Johanna down just long enough so she doesn't get into range for that condemn. So I think Patience might be in a bit of trouble. He dwarf tosses away and is safe. So here we go. This is the important part. Diablo shadow charges in onto the Immortal, gets bounced back by it instead, and they're definitely going for this race.
It's pretty even in the early levels. Snitches Get Stitches does win it. Or no, they don't, actually. Because
No.
Braxis wins it.
But, I mean, good aggressive positioning by the Immortals. This should work out in the favor of Snitches Get Stitches right here. But, once again, Cho'Gall just... He doesn't give up. Like, he doesn't have
It's really
to
hard to
give up.
force him off of a point. And there's a lot of low health bars on the side of Snitches Get Stitches, and only a Karazim to get them up. And he is not the strongest healer.
No, he's the most
Especially
fun
with
healer.
Iron Fist at level 1.
Yeah, Transcendence or Insight would have been very, very handy in this case, but the suplex from Diablo not leading to any extra damage on the side of Snitches Get Stitches. Bandito is gonna pay for his sins, goes down to the Cho'Gall, and now it is a 4v4 at this point. Murden going down as well. The Shadow Bolt doing just enough damage to get that kill. That was a well-placed Eye of Krug. That is annoying to get to.
Yep. It looks like Euphrates Braxis wins the first Immortal phase. Now, I think as time goes on, it definitely favors Snitches Get Stitches, depending on Lunara's level 7 pick, but as the Karazim build continues to gain more damage. But if Cho'Gall just rolls this early game and gets a 3-level lead, then it doesn't matter what your comp is.
Yeah, that's very true. And with this Immortal still having the shield, the range attacks are still coming into play. Loses that shield and switches to melee form. God, Bandito just taking so much damage. Like, I know he's not even close to 100 souls. Oh, Zeratul does go down to the Cho'Gall. Bandito, once again, paying for his transgressions against the Twilight Hammer. You don't take a raid boss on with just a lowly demon of terror.
Yeah, Zeratul was trying to harass the backline on the healers, but he got spotted out, and they did a lot of damage to him, and Cho'Gall was able to close the distance after the Zeratul blink away, and he was just kind of out of luck at that point.
Yeah, Spectorama sitting at about half health right now. Bandito trying to suplex him in, but nice little shove from the Cho'Gall right there. Bandito in a lot of trouble. He needs that heal from Karazim right there to help keep him up. They've got to try to get Cho'Gall down at least once. That will be a huge boon for Diablo, since Cho'Gall does count for 20 souls.
Yep. So they cleansed the Cho'Gall after Diablo flipped him over, so he wasn't able to shove him back. The cleanse is down for another 30 seconds or so, and it looks like there's not going to be a fight. So Diablo wasn't able to take advantage of that window, and he'll probably be up for next time he tries to flip the Cho'Gall. That was some pretty strong cleanse usage out of the Rhaegar, though.
Yeah,
Props to him.
Yeah, that was a very, very, very good cleanse. Probably did keep Cho'Gall alive. That shadow charge was off cooldown. He was waiting to get him up against those towers.
Looks like Euphrates Braxis wants to get this mercenary camp. Snitches Get Stitches might try and take it from them, but this is a 4v4, and they haven't really been winning much lately.
Ooh,
Zeratul... Alright, now they're forcing onto the Ana, trying to get to the back line, which is one of the strategies we thought about, but Diablo just goes down to the Cho'Gall on the front line, and they can't even kill the Ana.
yeah, that's a 3-for-0 trade. The MVP of that little team fight was definitely the Siege Camp, securing a couple of pickoffs right there onto the Zeratul and the Karazim. Majesty, is he going to go down? No, doesn't look like it. Came close, but hip on Hoppities away. Once again, you can never underestimate the leg strength of someone with 2 rib cages.
Lunara has gone Nature's Culling this game, which will significantly increase her immortal damage.
Yes, it will indeed. I do wonder if taking Splinter Spear would have been a little bit more beneficial, but we'll see how they're just planning on denying Immortals at this point, and it's not really working. They're not getting really good spawns. The RNG not playing into favor. And here comes the upheaval. Only really effectively lands on Diablo right there. Shadow Bolt Volley coming out as well, and it's back.
Zeratul managed to get out. He was took a lot of damage.
Bandito needs to know when to leave well enough alone, and he ends up going down. And this is going to be very close to a full health. No, this is actually a full health Immortal.
Mm-hmm. That'll be a full shield going towards the top lane. We'll see if you face Braxis pushes with it, which it looks like they're going to do instead of trying to do a counter push. This should basically guarantee the fort, and they will have pressure onto the keep front wall, especially because Snitches doesn't have 10 yet, and they don't have any of those void prisons or seven-sided strikes to really kind of make the fights go their way.
And their ultimates are coming off cooldown here in just a little bit. They've got to be super careful. Oh, my God. That is a huge upheaval. 3. Here comes the Shadow Bolt Volley. Not out just yet. Should be coming out shortly. But Cho'Gall, now it comes out, and nice interrupt from the Diablo right there to stop it. He ends up going down.
He saves Muradin's life, though, probably, which is worth something. But this keep wall, at this point, is definitely going down, and now it's the keep itself that's threatened. So we'll see. They do have 10s. Leonard does pick up the Leaping Strike to probably threaten the back line. We have APOC, Void Prison, Avatar, and Seven-Sided, which mostly we expected. So Zeratil's trying to flank to the back line. We'll see if they put pressure. Ana's all alone, and they're just not doing anything to her. I don't know what's going on here. Zeratul should have tried to kill that Ana.
The Seven-Sided Strike does come out. Maroon Marine. Here comes the APOC. Lands on 3 of them. Windjuice in a bit of trouble right now. Double Leaping Strike. Here comes the Condemn from Johanna, though. Keeping Cho'Gall alive just a little bit longer. Rhaegar does go down, and that was a beautiful little turnaround. They're a little bit delayed on capitalizing on that Void Prison, but they got, the 2 healers.
Yeah. That's exactly how their fights need to look in the future, to isolate one of the heroes, take them down, and now you have an advantage in the fight. They did lose their keep, which I think was almost guaranteed after losing the fight near the fort. But they've shown they can win a fight. They need to play collected until they have their heroics up. Ideally, they want 13 before the next Immortal phase, but
Rhaegar
it's
in the
not
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Here comes the upheaval lands onto Jamster right there. Here comes the Seven-Sided Strike onto Maroon Marine. They're going to get this Ana. Here comes the Shadow Bolt Volley, and another Shadow Bolt from Cho'Gall secures the kill. They're down 1 healer. Patience in a lot of trouble. Spectrorama hits. Forgot what I was saying. They get away. Good job on them.
Yeah, Lenore played the start of that really well, dodging the upheaval, getting damage onto the Ana, but Diablo was just a little too greedy trying to chase down Cho'Gall. Those Shadow Flames can snipe you from a pretty long distance.
Yeah,
so,
like I said, this is like every bad quick match I've ever played against.
But there's a chance if they clear. I don't think they get the chance to clear bot. So they aren't going to have 13 for this next fight right here.
They're coming in for the invade, though. Patience hits a stun onto 2. The Avatar does come out. And Murden decides to take a nap. Charism does go down. Bruce refusing to get off the point. Here comes the Cho'Gall now. Onto the point as well. Leaping Strike comes out. Another Leaping Strike. And now they've lost 3. And with that Void Prison not really being that effective that fight, this already looks like, at least up to halftime,
this is pretty devastating. The Charism died with Seven-Sided up, which he could have used to dodge that Shadow Flame damage and put some pressure into the invading. Zeratul goes down to the catapults and mercenary camp that are pushing top lane, and that essentially guarantees that they're not getting this Punisher, which will head straight to the bottom keep with a full health shield. And things are definitely looking grim for Snitches Get Stitches.
Yeah, and by the time that Immortal gets there, they won't even have Void Prison off of cooldown either.
Yeah, so props to you face Braxis for recognizing there was really only one play for Snitches Get Stitches, and that was to take their camp and to force the fight while they didn't have 13.
What was that sleeping dart? That was ridiculous. That was like those super annoying fishing hooks from Stitches at level 16. You think you're out of range, but then it hits you from 2 monitor ranges away, and they just capitalize on that kill.
What our dash to the Shadow Flame before the upheaval can even cast. This is
brutal.
This is Cho'Gall from ahead, boys and girls.
Forehead, Monakas. Let's insert emote here. Seems good. It's a pretty good emote right now. Here comes Cho'Gall with another consuming blaze.
The Void Prison anti-synergy with the 7-sided. Oh no! It stopped the 7-sided.
Everybody make a note of that. Just because you Void Prison, a Charism in the middle of 7th stride. Nice kill onto the Charism right there. Zeratul goes down as well, but that's going to be game. That Immortal was just too healthy right there. And you face Braxis showing us how to be jerks in unranked mode or team league.
Yep, anytime you have a coordinated team, the Cho'Gall, when it gets ahead, is a raid boss. It's impossible to deal with. They definitely, Snitches Get Stitches held a little better that game, I think. Weren't off to quite such a devastating deficit. And then there's 1 or 2 fights towards the end.
That was... I'm kind of mad at you face Braxis now, because that was just... I'm tilted for Snitches Get Stitches after that game. Like, I hope they play again, and I hope Snitches Get Stitches steamroll you face Braxis. Like, if there is now a villain in this league, in my opinion, it's you face Braxis. That's some...
For winning with the Cho'Gall. You sure they're not the people's hero?
No.
Pulling out the popular pick?
No, because when do you ever feel good about a Cho'Gall win? Have you ever played with a Cho'Gall and felt good about that win? Yeah, see?
Yeah.
No, you will lie. You are a liar.
Yeah, it's a fun hero to play. You enjoy games you win with the Cho'Gall.
Huh?
You enjoy games you win with the Cho'Gall. It's a fun hero to play.
No, I enjoy playing Cho. I don't enjoy playing Gall. I enjoy playing Cho, but that's because whoever's playing with me has no say in what I do. So
yes.
they're along for the ride, and you know how I do things. I just, God.
But again, I just want to say props to you face Braxis. They kept their foot on the pedal the whole game. They didn't ever give Snitches Get Stitches a chance to get back into it. They didn't let them split push their way, and they didn't let them take a safe camp. They didn't allow them to stall the game out. They were like, no, we're going to force something right here. We're going to take a fight. We're going to make sure we keep winning this game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, your Hero League games are going to have like, oh, we got a 2-level lead, and we just kind of sit back and farmed, and now they're on the same talent tier as us, and they won a team fight.
Yeah.
And you face Braxis just didn't let that happen.
No, yeah, they could press the action from start to finish. Even when they lost that fight game 2 up in the top, and they lost both their healers, they still did a good job of continuing map pressure, making sure that Snitches Get Stitches didn't really capitalize on that team fight win right there. So huge props to you face Braxis in my mind becoming the villains of Rekt League, and just overall just playing a really solid Cho'Gall comp. I mean, take notes on that. If you want to run a Cho'Gall comp, I mean, that's pretty much textbook how to do it, how to raise your team league rank in 4 easy steps. Own noobs with this one simple trick. Click here to learn more. And you just
Grandmasters hate him.
Grandmasters hate him. I was just going for that. That's amazing. So that's gonna wrap it up for this quick little session of the Monday mustard. I appreciate the alliteration. We will be showing up tomorrow at twitch.tv/BlizzPro for the Heroes Power Hour. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow with HGC finals starting up, the group stages. Then Thursday, Balrog fan should be casting with somebody. I am 99% sure I will not be there for personal reasons. And then back Sunday for some more sweet Tespa Heroes of the Dorm action. So we'll see you around. Thanks for watching, everybody.